A narcissistic individual is driven by the desire to control the different elements of the environment they are a part of. And you being the primary element, they have to keep you under their thumb. They know if you stay in a state of fear, if they keep you terrorized, if they keep you anxious and stressed, they would be able to have maximum control over your thoughts, feelings, and actions. But many of them are not overtly intimidating, or in other words, many of them do not induce fear in direct ways, in ways you could recognize. Yes, there are malignant narcissists who do overt things such as break things, punch holes in the walls, or even physically hit you, but most of them are very calculated, which is why you stay in a relationship that is tumultuous, that is killing you inside, but you're not able to recognize what is wrong. Because the things they do are quite subtle, quite stealthy, and under the surface, very hidden for you to recognize or to say, that is wrong, this is wrong. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. In this episode, we're going to talk about a narcissist's non-verbal ways of intimidating the victim and terrifying them to their core. If that sounds interesting and you want to learn more about this stuff, please make sure to subscribe by pressing the subscribe button, because your subscription to this channel would help spread the awareness. Also press the bell icon to stay updated with every latest episode that I put out here. Without further ado, let's get started with the narcissist stare. I have talked about this quite often, and today I would be talking about the narcissist gaze and stare in a different context and how they use it to intimidate you. In the beginning, the narcissist may keep staring at you, may keep gazing, and this gaze is soul piercing. It goes deep down to your psyche. You might think, well, this person probably is deeply into you. They want to know you. They are interested in you, because this stare is very intense. This gaze that they maintain is very intense. Least do you know that this is predatory stare. They're studying you. They are knowing the different bits and parts of your psyche and how you function, what you do, what you like, what your behaviorisms are like, what your mannerisms are like, what are your potential triggers, where are your insecurities, how they can be poked, and so on. As time goes on in the narcissistic relationship, this becomes one of those things that scare the shit out of a person, because they would be looking at you and they would be maintaining the stare, and I cannot mimic it, but you can imagine. If you have experienced it, you already know how evil it is in experience. They look at you and they keep looking at you, and it feels dark, it feels cold, it feels like there is no soul in their eyes, it feels like they're empty and they're looking down your soul. Naturally, you feel terrified, you feel attacked. It feels like almost like an emotional rape. It feels like they're scanning you. They are seeing you from inside out, and there is nowhere to hide yourself from them. You cannot keep yourself safe, because this intimidating, eye-gazing, staring is extremely penetrating, I would say. They stare you because they want to intimidate you. They want you to feel like an object that they own, because they see you that way. When they look at you, of course they're studying you, but at the same time in their head, they are putting you down. They are seeing you as this weakling that they own. In their head, they are glorifying themselves for catching you, for trapping you, for fooling you. They are putting you down. There is a lot that is going on in their head, but none of it has to do with love, affection, care, or compassion. It is dark and it scares a person to their core. Have you experienced this? Let me know in the comments, and let me know, how did you deal with it once you found out the real meaning of the stare and what it was doing to you? Did you stop it or not? Let me know about your experiences and help other survivors feel validated. The other thing they do is sneaking up. They would tiptoe, slowly walk, and then suddenly appear, especially from your behind. They would startle you and keep doing that again and again. Why? Because they enjoy the startle response. They enjoy to see you squirm. They enjoy to see you scream. They enjoy to see you terrified. They love the fact that they're able to make you feel so afraid. They keep repeating it continuously until you start walking on eggshells and feel hyper vigilant, because it is done in the disguise of joking or a friendly behavior. They just were pulling a prank on you and you're too sensitive for taking it so seriously. You start wondering, am I the crazy person in all of this? Well, it was a joke, wasn't it? I'm supposed to take it lightly. Why do I feel so anxious? Why, out of a sudden, am I scared of these loud sounds? Why do I get so anxious when someone walks behind me? Why do I have to make sure that I know where everybody is standing when I am in a room and nobody is behind me? What is happening to me? Am I going crazy? These are the thoughts that confuse a person because they do not know the source of fear, but they are afraid. They are afraid for their life. The third thing they do is that they start puffing up. They make themselves appear bigger. Whenever there is an argument happening, they start appearing bigger, making themselves appear bigger, and start doing stuff with their hands that looks intimidating, like punching their hands like this or moving their arms in a very violent way. If you were to ever point out their behavior and say, what are you doing? Why are you behaving that way? That makes me feel uncomfortable. They will call you crazy. Am I not even allowed to express myself? You don't let me talk, but at least let me move my limbs. I just want to speak. What do you want me to do? Just become a statue? This is the kind of response that you can expect from a narcissist. But you need to understand, when someone pops up, becomes bigger, and then overshadows you, just tries to take over physically, this is intimidation. Without your awareness of it, you would non-consciously feel threatened and your sympathetic nervous system will take over, which means you would either try to run away from the situation or fight back or just freeze, because this is a very unsafe situation. Yes, they're not hitting you, they're not screaming, they're not yelling, they're not verbally abusing you, but non-verbally, they are making you feel smaller. And then if you try to hold them accountable, they would say something like, I felt attacked. You attacked me. I had to do it to protect myself. I thought you would hit me, when there is no history of you ever hitting them. These are the excuses. The point that I'm trying to make here is that narcissists do plethora of things, so many things non-verbally, that make you think and feel you are going crazy. For example, they make you question your sanity. They are aggressive, but their aggression is not visible. Yes, they may not scream and yell, but they do other things that are not spoken, but only done. And those things are big enough, scary enough to make you afraid for your life, to make you feel smaller within, to make you doubt your sanity. What else? Before we end this episode, I am curious to know one thing. The narcissist who hurt you, how did they scare you without doing things that were obvious or overt? What other ways did they use to make you feel small and to make you feel afraid? Let me know your experiences in the comments, and I'll talk with you in the next one. Until then, let the healing begin.